How do you do? It would be a little unkind to present this picture without just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live! Right. Fucking thing sucks!
Fucking thing sucks, doesn't it, Rocket? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Wyatt's Metal Podcast, or Wyatt Wednesdays, or another goddamn day at work, another boring-ass day at school, however you celebrate your Wednesdays. The first day of October. Yes, it is officially now Halloween time. If you have not fucked a pumpkin already by this point, you are stalling. You need to get in the real Halloween spirit. That is definitely Rocket's chair now. He claimed it immediately. It is also day one of the American government shutdown. And Wyatt's Metal's message to every politician left and right in America is get back to fucking work, you bitches. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, what's up, everybody? How are y'all doing? Hope you're all having a good week. Doing some metal stuffs. What do I have going on? We were supposed to record our single last weekend, but it got rescheduled, but we're doing it this weekend. So new music coming very, very soon. We are playing on Friday at Supply and Demand, which I think is actually going out of business, sadly, in Long Beach, California. If you guys are in the area, come check it out. It will be a good, fun time. Yeah, besides that, I've been trying to think of what horror movies and scary shit I need to dive into for this season. I have some horror games I need to play. I started playing the campaign to I totally just blanked right there. Undead Nightmare, the first Red Dead Redemption one. But then I saw, I was like, wait, I got to play this during October. So now that it's here, I'm going to go finish that. Oh, yeah, any gamers out here who do PC gaming, as you all fucking should. It's the only way to game nowadays. Steam has a massive sale. They have Doom Eternal for like $4 and shit. I'm not sponsored by Steam. I wish I was. I'm just letting you guys know. There's crazy fucking good deals on Steam right now. But let me catch up with some of you guys in the chat here. We've got quite a few things to go over on this episode. We have got quite a few returning characters. If you've been a fan of the past season of Wyatt Wednesdays and all the drama that ensues, we got some cameos popping up again. For all the Marvel fans out there, it'll feel very familiar. The Weezer wife has an update. The Gooner guitarist has an update. Tim Lambesis kind of has an update. And more. This show will have everything. Right, Rocket? You're whining so much earlier. And now you're dead quiet. Let me get to some of these comments. Projector, what's up, man? Says, seems like Tim doesn't know when to quit. He's incapable of admitting any wrong or looking inward. He's like, no, I gotta keep grinding. Yeah, that's whoever's playing with them is fucking stupid. Anakin's anger management therapist. Does beating Elden Ring, Dark Souls 3, and Bloodborne in a single month mean I don't have a life? Yes. Yes, it does. If you beat only Elden Ring in 1 month, it means you don't have a life. How the fuck did you even do that? You have been downing some Tylenol in order to finish that shit. That is a crazy use of time. That's like my buddy Hypnotic. He will edit a YouTube video while doing a live stream, while playing a game, while playing another game, all at the while reading a comic, all at the same time. It's insane. I don't know how it happens. That's crazy. I'm just shit talking. That's cool. I have a ton of games I need to get through and beat. Yeah. Cotton Ministry says new Lamb of God coming. I saw that they teased that, and Slipknot just announced what their new record is going to be. I can go over that in a bit. Sharon, what's up? Says, as I lay dying playing in Russia. Well, yeah, that's the one place where I'm not surprised. In Russia, Tim hasn't done anything illegal at all. It's just been a perfectly normal relationship. But yeah, apparently it's hinting at an American tour, which, I mean, you go see it if you want to. I'm not trying to be like, no, cancel him. But I'm just like, all right. I have a song recommendation. It's called Bury the Light from Devil May Cry 5 soundtrack. All of their soundtracks are metal as fuck. I think the original one had like Combi Christ and a bunch of fucking bands in it. I actually never got into those games. I just missed them. And now I don't want to bother going back. My Steam backlog is way too long already. Sophia, what's up? Says, what's up, metalheads? I've been listening to nothing but Hollywood Undead for 2 weeks straight. I live in Undead Hollywood, so I don't have to listen to it. I just experience it at every moment. What have I been listening to? Nothing. I keep Jade on my rotation pretty well. I really like their type of shit. Wake and Bake with Wyatt live. There you go. Awesome. Kinky Sizemore, what is up, man? The Wyatt. No others. Justice for All says, yo, Wyatt, went to my first metal show in a small club. Nice. Got to see Born of Osiris and was the edge of the pit. Bitched out on going in the pit. Shit was rad. The edge of the pit is where I usually am these days. There's no shame in being on the edge of the pit. You still get some cool points without having to go all the way in. Lumbergo says, what's up, everyone? I've been going to shows for 25 years without issue, and I finally did it. I broke my foot in a mosh pit last week. Fucking Ailstorm. Damn. Rest in peace to your foot. At least it went out the pirate way, I guess. That fucking sucks, man. Sorry. It's always the ones you don't expect. A friend of mine broke his toe at Twilight Force because he was prancing too hard. At least I broke my leg during Anthrax caught in a mosh. That at least is a good excuse. 5 days later, I was watching Cannibal Corpse while chilling in the back on crutches. Oh, dude, I've been to shows on crutches. It sucks. It's so awful. I felt fucking miserable just trying to lump myself around. But I had my whole ass leg. It was a lot worse. But yeah, you do feel kind of bad being relegated like to the back, just being like, I want to go have fun. Slogoth says, broke my back sorta in a suicidal tendencies pit for join the army. God damn. I would definitely rather break my leg than my back. That sounds horrible. Good band to do it for, suicidal tendencies. That makes sense. Wyatt, what's your favorite old school horror movie? I always watch The Haunting from 1963. It's a fucking classic. Ah, man. I grew up with Evil Dead. Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness specifically were my favorite ones. Was big Nightmare on Elm Street fan. Freddy Krueger was my favorite horror monster of the time. The Shining is just classic because Jack Nicholson is so fucking funny. He wanted to kill his family in that movie long before they got to the hotel, if you watch that movie back again. But I will say, I do think the greatest horror movie of all time that still holds up is the first Alien film. If people have not seen it before, it's just as terrifying as it was when it came out. Never mind how bad the new show is and how many fucking sequels there are. The first one, first Alien, always the best one. I hope I get to do something for Halloween this year. Halloween's usually disappointing for me. I've got, we're going to one horror thing out here in Long Beach at the Queen Mary. Try to do some other cool stuff. All right, let me cut farther down here before I get too backtrack reading all these. All right. You should watch The Mangler. I don't even know what that one is. I'm going to watch Sinners soon because literally everyone I know said that movie was amazing. And I haven't watched it yet. And now it's on streaming, so I definitely can. True, Alien in the theater. Yeah, my grandmother told me about almost having a heart attack when she saw the original Alien. No spoilers, if anyone hasn't seen it. The greatest horror movie of all time is the Nick Cage Wicker Man. Not the beast! Not the beast! And let me keep scrolling through here real quick. Miss Girl, what should I be for Halloween? I was saying you should be Master Chief. Exactly. Just saw Priest and Cooper last Saturday, and oh my god, they were so good. School's Out is such a great last song to end the show with. Nice. I got tickets to see them here in LA October, I think 18th or 19th, one of those, I don't remember. But I'm looking forward to it because I very love both bands a lot. Massive Alice Cooper fan. Look at him getting all comfortable, getting bored as shit from my annoying voice. Anyway, let's get to some topics, shall we? Let's do some announcements. We've got a couple of tours announced. A couple of tours canceled, actually. And then we can go over these crazy shenanigans happening in the world. First one, big tour that was just announced. Wait, what am I doing? Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Shit, I have a lot of things open. For industrial fans out there, 9 Inch Nails announced February, March North American tour. That's a band I actually have not seen. One of the very few bands I have never seen live. I would. That would be cool. 9 Inch Nails announced the second North American leg of their critically acclaimed Peel It Back tour, produced by evil motherfuckers in Live Nation. And they are going to New Orleans, Jacksonville, North Carolina. Try not to get stabbed. Pretty much everywhere. Yeah, starting from Florida all the way to Sacramento. If anyone is looking forward to that. Hey, Wyatt, how do you feel about the 6 Feet Under tour that got canceled recently? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I'm assuming it was just because of money and low ticket sales. I mean, that would make the most sense. Unfortunate thing that happens nowadays, but according to the Live Nation CEO, tickets are too cheap because he's a prick. Damn, no dates in Nebraska. Yeah, I mean, if you guys can, check out 9 Inch Nails. I would like to see them live. And we got another huge tour. Where'd it go? Fuck. I don't like them anymore, but some people do. Ghost announces January, February 2026 North American tour. I just cannot understand how this band got so big in America. Europe, sure. In America, how did this giant pop band that sings about Satan become so big they're selling out arenas? I'm not even necessarily hating on it. I just don't understand it. I'm not like, no, they don't deserve it. I'm like, the math isn't mathing. But Ghost will be going, if you want to get to the fucking dates. Again, starting in Florida, going to Charlotte, North Carolina. Be careful. Anaheim and Inglewood are right next to each other. What the fuck? They're literally next to each other. That's fucking weird. Anyway, Ghost fans, there's your opportunity. Hill I Will Die On. The first 2 Ghost albums are actually awesome. I completely agree. After that, meh as fuck. I have no idea how they are at arena level now. I say their first 3 albums are mostly great. There's a couple misses on each one, but I got into them on the 3rd album because they played Hellfest when I was there, and I decided to check them out, and I was like, holy shit, I've seen the light. And then they went pop immediately afterward, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. But yeah, I still enjoy some of their older ones, especially Halloween Time. Put them on the playlist. It fits perfectly. I liked when they were a theater-sized band. I thought they were really great. Then they sold out. Lilith, Ghost has fans? That hasn't been confirmed. They might all be paid extras. This is actually just a prop. I mean, but Ghost is a band? No. Ghost is a pop group. A pop singer with other backing members, basically. Slightly better sounding than Taylor Swift. Slightly. They cornered the market of goth alt girls who shop at Hot Topic that My Chemical Romance used to have until they retired. Yeah, but that's the weird thing is that they didn't start like that. They started as a doom band with like a little, mystique to it. How do you go from sounding more or less something like Candlemass Pentagram to straight pop music? I don't know. Make it make sense. Ghost is a product. This is correct. This is true. Ghost with the Monomarth was the weirdest lineup of any show I've seen. That was really bizarre, wasn't it? Yeah. Who else was on that tour? Because there must have been like an opening band too. That's a very weird jump in music and performance. Ghost is a mess, bad Sleep Token. I would 1000% rather listen to Ghost than Sleep Token. I mean, I'd prefer, to sit and stare at a blank wall and think about my life instead. But if I was subjugated to one or the other, I would go with that. I was just a Monomarth and Ghost. Damn, that is bizarre. When you have a lead singer who takes over and is a massive nerd for 80s pop metal. Yeah. And he literally took over too. That shit was so crazy. And I looked up something that was talking about the story of Ghost and what happened between them. And all of the former members were saying that Tobias basically took over and writ them out and changed it to a one-man band. And Tobias' response was basically, yeah, I did. It's like, damn. Okay. Yeah. Last time I saw Ghost was when they were touring with Volbeat. Those are two bands I used to really like. I was still a big Ghost fan at the time, and I still think Volbeat had a better set. Damn. Yeah, and Volbeat doesn't even do like a really big show or anything. Rocket, do we like Ghost? No! If it doesn't have blast beats and hatred, Rocket does not want to hear it. That's why he fell asleep, because Dark Insanity came on and he was like, this poser shit. Oh wait, shit, what happened? Is Tobias Forge going to be the new Danny? Phil? I mean, in terms of how the band operation went, did kind of pull a Danny move, didn't he? Oh man, I have more I want to joke about, but not yet. Patience. What is the weirdest lineup you've seen? It has to be a show. Well, actually, I got one for festival because it's harder for a big festival to be that weird. But Montebello Rock Fest in 2015 was a punk rock festival that was headlined by Linkin Park and System of a Down. The rest of the lineup had like The Exploited, Cro-Mags, every other punk band you can think of that I'm blanking on right now. But it also had Bolt Thrower and Snoop Dogg. That was an awesome day. I'm pretty sure they played the same fucking day too. That was great. So that was definitely the weirdest, but awesome for a festival. For a show, what immediately comes to mind was the Sounds of the Underground tour, whichever year I went to it, which was the first time I saw Monomarth playing for like 30 minutes. But also on that tour was a bunch of shit emo core bands. One of them was The Number 12 Looks Like You and The Devil Wears Prada. But then it was like Goat Whore. And I think Behemoth were there. And then it had like a rapper. And then some random... It was weird. It was fucking weird as shit. I saw Gallows open for Cypress Hill. That's cool. Imagine a tour of Bolt Thrower and Snoop Dogg. That would be great. I would go to that. Bolt Thrower and Snoop on the same day must have been a festival campground blasting random shit at 4 a.m. Oh yeah, it was a really fun festival. It sucks it went away. It was going for a long time. It had a really interesting, cool lineup. Great location too. It was in this like cute little lakeside town in French Canada. But I'm pretty sure what happened with Montebello Rockfest is one year they booked Rammstein, and I think that completely just like put him in the bankruptcy. Would be my guess, because I don't think they came back after they did that. Marduk, I hope they tour my area. I really have been liking Dogma. I'm happy for the people who like them. Good for you. I very much don't. God. I saw Dogma popped up. I think they bought a lot of ad space on Instagram, and videos popped up, and I was like, okay, it's TikTok girls who like Ghost. Cool. I'm good. If you like it, sure, fine. More power to you, but I thought it was lame as fuck. Which rapper is gonna collab with Dark Insanity? Only Flava Flav. Nobody else. Flava Flav is legitimately a musical fucking genius. A lot of people don't know that. He's a little special, but that's why. He's a big Tylenol fan. But did you guys know actually that Flava Flav self-taught himself how to play, I think, like 9 or 12 instruments? If you look at his Wikipedia, it's ridiculous. He's not as insanely retarded as he seems to be. He still is a bit, but weirdest lineup I ever saw was Decapitated headlining with Brand of Sacrifice, Caligula's Horse, and I Built the Sky opening. That is weird. I know there's some more I'm trying to think of, but man. Marduk was banned from playing in my city. Do you live in San Francisco? Because I remember back in the day, in I think it was 2012, I wanted to go see Watain, and they were going to play at the DNA Lounge in San Francisco, and it got canceled because they're apparently Nazis. And same for Marduk, and I was like, I'm leaving. I hate this place. Marduk the band is fucking legit, though. When I was first getting into black metal and I came across Marduk, fucking Christ-raping black metal, Baptism by Fire, still is killer as fuck. That was weird. Yeah, Marduk was great. Bogota, Colombia. Damn. Really? They banned Marduk there? Are they pretty strict on like religious stuff? I've never been to Colombia. Would really love to go. What's your wiki stub gonna say in 10 years? Wyatt's metal, savior of metal, rebuilder of Rome, restorer of the Mongol Empire. That's what it's gonna say on mine. As the Bible says, fuck San Francisco. God was very correct on that one. Anyway, let's get Ghost off the screen. We've got some more stuff brought up here. When I saw there was a band called Caligula's Horse, I got very concerned. Like, what the fuck did he do to his horse? But it wasn't that bad. He just made it a Roman senator. That's a boring ass horse. Just standing up there with one of those wigs on. Rocket would do better than that. Destroyer of Canada. Yes. Canada is now part of the Mongol Empire. I think Genghis Khan didn't go far enough. I mean, we can continue this in this day and age. Anyway. Do we have another tour announcement? Or actually, we do got some. We've got the beloved doing big in the underground right now. Acid Bath announces more 2026 shows. The bath is flowing. I kind of thought when they said they were coming back, they were only going to do was it Sick New World or another festival or something, but it seems like they're back for sure. Added 2 shows in Houston and Dallas, Texas with Obituary, High on Fire, and damn. Acid Bath, Obituary, High on Fire, and Baroness in Texas. I need to move to Texas. That's fucking dope. That's a good lineup, shit. There you go. I have not gotten my opportunity to see Acid Bath yet, but it'll happen. It'll definitely happen. I plan on going, hell yeah. Did you hear about the guy who burned a church in Michigan? Yeah, that motherfucker was insane. So on the long list of wonderful things happening in American society these days that make you question, maybe we do actually live in hell right now. Some fucking psychopath did a huge attack on a church. Fucking crashed his truck into it, shot it up, and then lit it on fire. It does not seem that that dude did it for like strictly political reasons. I think what I heard, the dude might have been Republican, but I haven't got that confirmed yet. But it seems like he really fucking hated Mormons, which, damn, that's bad. Wyatt's Metal says everyone who wants to commit violence is gay, unless they are gay. Then if they are gay, then they're straight. That's how that works. So don't commit violence in public, or you're either gonna turn gay or straight. That's how it works. That was one of that's something my friend Hypnotic would say that would crack me the fuck up. He'd always tell people that like the stream, and he would go, if you don't like the stream, you're gay. Unless you are actually gay, then you're straight. I thought that was brilliant. The dude had crazy religious conspiracies. Yeah, there's so much going on. I'm trying to fucking... You can't keep up with everything in the world. Just be depressed. Shout out from sunny South Africa. Damn. What is up? That's cool. What other stories do we have? Oh, it was Wait, yeah, where'd I go? A tour has been postponed for the South Americans. Avenged Sevenfold regretfully postponed South American tour due to health concern. Statement issued. If we have any Avenged Sevenfold fans in here, there you go. One of my buddies really loves them and swears by all of their AI ingenuity they fuck with. However, they recently issued a statement revealing that the tour is being postponed to early next year due to major health concern. Frontman M Shadow's diagnosis of a specific condition called a vocal fold hematoma. We actually have a band postponing a tour for a real reason. Supposedly. It seems like it. But with a heavy heart and regretfully, we have to announce that due to a specific condition called a vocal fold hematoma. Vocal fold hematoma. My mouth does not want to say that. It's like force it. We have made the necessary decision to push our tour to early next year. We promise to come back stronger than ever. Your tickets will still be valid for the rescheduled shows. New dates are on the way and will be announced next week. So yeah, that actually looks like that Avenged Sevenfold postponed their tour for a real actual reason. Not one like due to low ticket sales or due to unexpected problems. M Shadows. I mean, can we just watch this video so I don't have to read it? Yeah. All right, here's what M Shadows has to say about his vocal fuck up.
Hey everyone, what's going on?
I swear, I saw David Draymond commented here. I really thought it said rest in peace. I was like, what the fuck? This story jumped really quickly.
Got some discouraging news. Gonna have to postpone the Latin America tour. Got my voice in some sort of trouble. After Louder Than Life, I got a little sick, and I thought that my throat was feeling crummy from being sick. Came down to Argentina. Felt like it was probably...
His voice sounds like shit. I would not want to perform, especially a whole tour with that.
The travel, the schedule, etc. Monday and Tuesday came. I slept a bunch. Didn't feel any difference. So we postponed Buenos Aires. The next day, got a bunch of sleep. Woke up and I felt like something wasn't getting better. So I found a great doctor in Argentina, went and got my throat scoped, and I have a hematoma on my left vocal fold, which is the same injury I had in 2017. In 2017, though, I decided to keep singing through it. Took a bunch of pills.
Bad move.
And ended up resulting in surgery.
Yeah.
So basically, if I shut this down now, I'll have a couple weeks of voice rest and then a couple months of rehab, and we'll be able to remake these dates to you. So I got to make the responsible decision here and shut this down. This will be the last time I'm talking for a couple weeks. Breaks my heart I have to do this, but we're going to be able to reschedule these dates for January. Apologies to everyone who's made plans, spent money. Hopefully this is early enough to make you able to make the proper plans and kind of change the dates to January. Apologies to the bands. All of them have flown down here already. Our crew, everyone's already down here. The equipment, a lot goes into this. But I have to make the responsible decision, and there's just no way I can sing like this. And don't want another surgery. So we're going to take the responsible route here, shut it down for a couple months, and just sorry this had to happen. It just sucks. Can't wait to see you guys in January. Sorry.
God damn. That fucking sucks, man. Now I feel bad for him. Imagine, it's not just canceling it when you're at home, knowing it's going to go wrong. The bands are already there. The shit's ready to go. And then you just can't because you're partying too hard with Rock Feed It Louder Than Life. Now you have to cancel a tour. No, I completely support and agree with his decision to do that. There's always a bummer that people who spent money on hotels and travel or whatever do get screwed by it, but seems like it's an actual legitimate reason. What can you do? You think he was so used to AI at this point he has some chip that just does his vocals for him? Hang on, I'm dying. I wanted to get to this comment before I forget. Move on. Slogoth said, Wyatt, on a side note, was thinking about 70K27. How is it for people sober from booze? It's great. It's totally great. I don't drink alcohol. On the last, I think, 2 times I went on the cruise was when I wasn't drinking. It's totally fine. You will save so much money. All of your friends, when they get off the boat, will be looking at their bills and being like, holy shit, oh my God. And you'll be like, I spent like $50. No, it's totally great. You'll have no problem at all. It's so exciting. There's so much going on that you're not going to be like, oh, I wish I had a drink. What did you think of the new song Testament? Testament's new song? Their AI one was pretty good. Didn't they add another one that I thought was really mid? But yeah, I mean, I love Testament, so definitely hear more. Marduk PM says, Cradle end his Latin America tour canceling a couple of shows. Yeah, apparently some more drama in the Cradle of Filth Latin America tour. If I can be completely honest with you guys right now, I know a lot more about that situation. I cannot talk about any of it yet. I definitely will when I can. I think we'll be hearing more about it soon. It's pretty much all I can say. But I've been hearing from people. Birdies have been chirping. And I don't want to jump ahead at all, but I think you'll be hearing more about the Cradle situation sometime soon. Anyway. What am I looking for? What do you think about Carpenter Brute opening for Health on their next North American tour? Seem like that's backwards. Yeah, it was surprising because I think Carpenter Brute's much bigger, but that's a good tour for people who are into synth and that type of stuff. It's weird those bands are like sort of metal adjacent, cousins of metal, where they're not metal bands, but they play metal shows all the time and everybody loves them. What am I catching up on here? Anyway. Next topic was, well, now I got some interesting ones going on here. Oh, this one's not fun. This one's depressing, but it is an important update of a vocalist that I'm a big fan of, a band that I really like. This is quite sad. An ad. Get out of my face, you piece of shit. Sick of It All's Lou. The Cancer's come back, and he brought some friends with him. Sick of It All is a legendary hardcore band. They were one of, if not the first straight-up hardcore band that I really got into. I remember as a metal try-hard at the time, wouldn't listen to anything that's not considered straight metal. And then I think on like Grand Theft Auto or something, Sick of It All came on. I was like, whoa, what's that? I've seen them live a bunch of times. Fucking amazing show. I saw Sick of It All at a small club in San Francisco, and it was amazing. And I saw them at Hellfest in Vaughan, and it was amazing. But frontman Lou went through a huge battle with cancer recently, and then seemed to be doing better, and now apparently is not, which sucks a lot. Vocalist Lou, caller of New York hardcore legend Sick of It All, who underwent chemotherapy last year after being diagnosed with I don't know how to fucking say, with a tumor, says that his cancer has returned 4 months after he was declared cancer-free. That's a short amount of time. Earlier today, Lou released a short video message via the Sick of It All social media. I will let him speak for himself. Or you can learn about weight loss. This is from the screen here.
Everybody, what's up? It's Lou here. I don't know if you can tell it's me with my new skeletal look that I have going on. Here's an update for you. It's not one I want to make, but unfortunately, the cancer has come back, and he brought some friends with him. I was having a really hard time with my recovery. I was having a tough time gaining weight and keeping food down. So I had some scans done, and sure enough, he's back. But we're going to take it day by day and see what happens. I want to thank you all again for your moral support. The way you all reach out to me still is very, thank you very much. But I'll keep you updated and let you know how it goes, all right? We'll see you soon.
So we just lost one of my favorite frontmen due to cancer. Hope nothing but the best for Lou. I hope he does heal. Gonna be honest, he did not look good in that video. But I really hope that something can happen. He can come around because, man, Sick of It All is so fucking good. Cancer sucks, and cancer is gay. Unless cancer is actually gay, then cancer is straight. You know how this works now. Fuck cancer hard without lube. Fuck cancer in the asshole with a big rubber dick. Fuck cancer in the asshole with a strap-on worn by Mickey Mouse. I had to dig through my knowledge of George Carlin jokes to find that one. The people who don't deserve it are always the ones that have to battle cancer. Shit is fucked. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. It's always the young and good people. Cancer is a furry. All right, I think we can all agree on that one. Goran says, I had a dream where Corpse Grinder was murdered. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Goran has commented this maybe 10 times in the chat, and I'm going to ask him to stop. If you post a comment and I haven't read it, posting it over and over and over again is not going to get me to favorably read it. So please don't. Anyway, 2025 sucks. The big one. The big one. Next story. Sick of it all, Rose. So, oh, someone actually did bring up. Where'd it go? Someone said that we lost Jane Goodall today, and like, yeah. What the fuck? I mean, she's old as fuck, so not super unexpected, but I think that sucks. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super up to date on everything she did, but I know that she was a huge nature and animal lover, and I respect the shit out of that. I think that's one of the most important things. So rest in peace to Jane Goodall. Thanks for caring about animals and shit. Now it's Jane Badhall. Damn, she's not fucking around now. Anyway, do we have any positive news? Oh, sad shit happening in the world. Actually, we do. Let's talk about love and marriage. Because someone got married recently I wasn't expecting. Rob Halford of Judas Priest officially got married last year. Shares wedding details. Did not know that. This is a nice little story. Priest frontman Rob Halford revealed he married his longtime partner Thomas last year. He said, we got married by the cactus outside on December the something or other about a year or so ago. It sounds like it was a very prominent memory for him. We got married sometime, I don't know. The metal god said on a recent episode of the Queer the Music podcast, hosted by someone. Watch it below. I'm not going to do that. But despite being together for 30 years, Halford and Thomas put off getting married for a long time, partly because Thomas is from the South. He's from Alabama, extremely conservative. God, that is correct. Halford explained. I stopped asking, let's get married. No, I don't want to get married. Oh, let's just get married. We've been together forever. No, I don't want to get married, the singer said. And then suddenly on one of our night walks, he goes, I think we should get married. I went straight home and got on the phone to get a pastor. 1-800-MARRIAGE NOW. Halford detailed the simple ceremony, which only involved a handful of guests. It was obviously me and him and an officiant, as they call them, who are legalized to marry people. Two of my dearest friends, Jim Sylvia, who was Priest's tour manager forever, and his wife. There were just 4 of us around the pool, around a cactus, the heavy metal cactus. And it was over in an instant. It was just a beautiful, simple harmony. I feel like if you were there, you might have confused it for a smoke break. It sounds like just people in the corners like, hey, do you want to get married? Yeah, sure. You guys are married. Oh, cool. I mean, congrats to Rob. I'm not shitting on it at all. I just thought it was funny. You know what I mean? No band members. Damn, Rob, that's cold. Yeah. What's up with that? Everyone, want to go to Robin Thomas's for dinner? Crap, who's marrying Lilith? You've been trying to get Rocket for a while, but I don't know if he's ready to settle down yet. Rob Halford looks like he does everything right next to a cactus. Whoa. Robin Tim sounds like the name of a sitcom. I would absolutely watch the sitcom of Robin Tim, where Tim is a normal stay-at-home husband. You know, like, I don't know what Tom looks like, but I'm going to assume, at least for the show, scrawny liberal white guy, you know, sit at home, likes to clean, and then is married to Rob Halford, comes driving through the front door on the motorcycle in all the leather and everything. That would be a great show. Can we make this? Yeah. So if you can marry one of my cats. Hell Bent for Leisure. That's the name of the show. Hell Bent for Leisure. I'm pretty sure Tom is a Marine. Big dude. Well, it doesn't work for the show, all right? We're doing the Hollywood exploitation version. He's been recast as a scrawny liberal. I don't care if he's actually a big Marine tough guy. We're making the Hollywood version. We're ruining it. Dale says, finally caught your live stream. Your metal list was bloody awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in. Did you drive into the kitchen in a motorcycle? Are you breaking the law? It's like, it was a funny skit. It'd be like, I'm trying to say something funny, like picture Rob and Tom on like a nice romantic night walk or something, really like they're settling down to watch, I don't know, The View or some shit. And then someone busts in the door like, Rob Halford! Oh my gosh! That would be funny. Rob seems like he'd be into bears. Honestly, I agree. After the guy said that Tom's probably a big Marine dude, I'm like, that makes sense. I could see that. But it's not about what's true. It's about the Hollywood adaptation. People need to see themselves in Rob Halford's story. Huda Gooner. We're going to get to that. Don't worry. Crow says, did you just say you picture him rubbing Tom?
Boo this man!
The fact that Rob Halford can still sing is the biggest miracle of all. Yeah, you can tell if you see him live now, he's not at his peak. I think he even admits that, but he's still very good. He's still seeing Priest live is still very satisfying. It's not like, oh, you tried. But yeah. I'm very stoked to see him with Alice Cooper. Another Rockstar health update. This is a Rockstar that I make fun of a lot on this channel, but I'll try to hold it back a little bit for this story. Motley Crue's Vince Neil had 4 strokes recently, not just 1. Vince Neil has revealed that the Christmas 2024 stroke, which threatened to end his touring career, was one of just 4 he suffered in recent years. He probably kept it secret because the band would fire and replace him if he said that he couldn't tour anymore. In a new interview with Eddie Trunk, Motley Crue singer recounted the impact of his latest stroke. It just happened regularly now. I woke up and I couldn't get out of bed. I'm like, what's going on? And my left leg wouldn't work and my left arm wouldn't work, so I had to get help out of bed. Ugh. Helpfully, the aunt of Neil's girlfriend, Rain, was a nurse who was able to figure out what was going on based on their account of his afflictions. Yeah. By that point, it was too late for medicine to help with his symptoms. They said that I had a blood clot in my left leg that ran up through my brain. Ew. God. That's bad. Neil then endured months of rehab, determined to return to the stage. Slowly but surely, the sensation came back in my legs, and I had to learn to walk again. And we heard that story last time. I went from a wheelchair to a walker to a cane to I can walk now, but for 5 months, it was just off and on, not knowing what's going to happen. So whoever in the chat earlier said that they broke their foot, I hope you feel better now. It could be a lot fucking worse. During his recovery, Neil learned that he had actually suffered 4 strokes in recent years. 2 of them I didn't even know I had. One of them was a mini stroke that happened and I just lost feeling in my hand, and that was it. And I got over that pretty quickly, but then this last one, it was a big one. As for the other 2 incidents, I can't remember any other time I felt weird or something. It must have happened and I got over it. I didn't even know. You can just get over having multiple strokes, it seems. Goddamn. Admitting that he returned to a solo tour schedule a bit prematurely, Neil declares himself to be 95% good at the moment. There's still things that I can't do on stage still. It's hard to run back and forth on that stage. That stage is so huge, but I'm getting used to it. Yeah. As much as I like putting Neil at the butt of a lot of jokes, I'm glad that, he didn't die. That would be crazy. Children, don't do coke. That's a good piece of advice right there. Don't be in Motley Crue, and you can avoid having 4 strokes in your 60s. Brings a new meaning to Wild Side. 4 strokes and not the fun kind. Wait, he planned on touring? He didn't say he planned on rehearsing. He said he planned on touring. There's a difference. Is that karma for treating Mick Mars like shit? Maybe. It could be. Mick was just laughing his ass off when he read that. What should we jump to now? We got... Sorry, I was deciding the next subject. I did not freeze. Another subject or another topic, one that I haven't covered yet on this channel, actually. The Hatebreed lawsuit, which I'm not going to lie, I haven't really looked into much, but Hatebreed fires back at disgruntled former band member Chris Beatty in first official response to lawsuit. I guess Chris here was a longtime bass player for Hatebreed, was recently fired, and was very not happy with it, and is suing them. Hatebreed has responded to founding bassist Chris's lawsuit, claiming that he has no legal basis to sue over his dismissal from the veteran Connecticut hardcore metal band last year. In his original complaint, which was filed this past July, Betty... Is it Betty or Beatty? How do you say this? My name is Betty. Beatty insisted that he was the driving force behind Hatebreed's sound and identity until his sudden and baseless expulsion from the group last November. He also accused Hatebreed frontman Jamie Josta of displaying increasingly erratic behavior in the months leading up to Chris's abrupt termination. Culminating in a unilateral decision to cut Beatty off from his career, fans, touring, and substantial expected revenue. Implying he was fired for no reason to keep his money. In September, Hatebreed and Josta filed a motion to strike some of Beatty's claims, calling the split between the parties a garden variety band breakup case. What? Garden variety band breakup case, and referring to Beatty as a disgruntled former band member who erroneously asserts a right to remain a permanent member of Hatebreed in perpetuity, despite the fact that the underlying relationship between the parties was terminable at will. Josta saying that He was always able to be fired at any point, basically. According to the motion, which has been obtained by Blabbermouth, Beatty, Justin, Hatebreed, and their drummer entered into a band merchandise agreement on or about September 25th, 2015, which provided the three would be entitled to 25% of the sales revenue from band merchandise, and two other band members would each receive 12% of the remaining sales. Beatty was terminated from his role in the band on November 15th, according to the motion, which adds that Beatty wholly fails to allege that any agreement was concluded with Hatebreed or Hatebreed's members, or that Beatty has an ownership interest in the band's name. Nor does Beatty allege that he has not received a record or publishing royalties in connection with recording projects that he worked on. This is long. Beatty claims Josta and Beatty maintained an implied agreement. Implied agreement? Implied agreement doesn't mean shit. Get the fuck out of here. From the band's inception, that Beatty would be an equal co-owner and share in the band's profit, royalties, and rights. You lost me at implied agreement. I would throw this out immediately. Beatty's complaint is devoid of any allegation Hatebreed maintained an agreement with Beatty concerning his status with the band or his entitlement to band revenues. Without a written agreement with a term, Beatty's relationship with the band was terminable at will. That is correct. Even if he does feel that he was fucked over, or that it wasn't fair, or he thought that they were brothers and they weren't. Implied agreement is complete horseshit. What the fuck are you talking about? Implied agreement is not a thing. There's either a legal binding agreement or there isn't. What? What do you plan? Do you plan to go up to the judge and be like, Your Honor, I thought they liked me? What are you talking about? Hatebreed's motion also addressed Betty's claim that Josta fired Beatty after citing an alleged incident that occurred on or around November 9th, just prior to a Hatebreed concert at the Toyota Oakdale Theater in Connecticut. In Beatty's complaint, he said that a Live Nation security guard at the venue falsely reported that Beatty had harassed her upon entering the theater prior to his performance. These allegations were patently untrue. Beatty never harassed any Live Nation employee, and more likely, she mistook him for someone else. All right. In Hatebreed's motion, the band attorney wrote, Beatty, Betty, whatever fucking you want to say, does not allege Hatebreed and Josta committed any wrongful conduct during the process of terminating participation in the band. Beatty merely alleges Josta abruptly terminated him from his role in the band based on unsupported and false allegations connected to the Live Nation incident, which resulted in his emotional distress. So he's blaming the firing on something else. Even if the Live Nation incident was cited as a false narrative for his termination, Beatty's allegations do not amount to a cognizable claim because the incident merely preceded his termination. It was not connected with the termination process itself. That seems like, does anybody remember anything about Hatebreed saying, hey, we kicked him out because of this? Josta's a pretty laid-back dude, it seems, but it sucks to have disputes. Yeah, for those who haven't seen, Josta's been on this show twice. We've done 2 interviews with him, which means that we're best friends and I know him better than anyone on the planet. But no, I've never gotten any vibe of erratic behavior in the 2 hours that I've spoken to him, but that's not saying much. But it does seem like a strange situation. It does seem like the bass player's a little baseless. That was a good one. That was really good. Reminds me of Corpo's But We're a Family. It's kind of coming off like that. And I don't know the details of it. I don't know if he does feel he was fucked over in some way or not, but that alleged agreement is horseshit. I feel like any lawsuit just stops right there. Be like, what did you say? You alleged. You thought you had an agreement, but you knew you didn't have an agreement, but you thought, well, you didn't. That's crazy. The motion adds Beatty claims he provided decades-long contributions to the band, and his share of the band's revenue is now being inequitably withheld by Josta following his termination. Betty's unjust... I keep saying the name differently. I'm not even trying to. Betty's unjust enrichment claim is insufficiently pled because Betty fails to allege he is entitled to band revenue in perpetuity after termination based simply on his prior contributions to the band? Huh? That one's a little confusing to me, but you're saying he failed to allege he's entitled to revenue from the band when he's not in the band? In his lawsuit, Beatty claimed that he contributed significant labor, musical talent, recording and management duties, promotion, and financial resources, without which Hatebreed would not and could not have achieved its current level of recognition and profitability. None of that fucking matters if you don't have a written agreement. I'm sorry. He added that the band functioned pursuant to a long-standing implied agreement and understanding that Shannon and Beatty were equal co-owners in the band and entitled to their designated share of profits, royalties, and intellectual property rights. According to Beatty, he and other band members had no insight into how the money from Hatebreed merchandise sales was managed and most often received payment via wire transfers. Those transfers often came with no explanation or breakdown of the amount being transferred. The complaint went on to say Hatebreed continued to operate in accordance with the long-standing implied agreement and understanding the primary members, including Shannon, I think that's Shasta, Betty, and Byrne, were co-equal owners in the band. In addition, the three, along with the manager Steve Ross, played a critical role in all major decision-making on behalf of the band. For example, each of them were responsible for and often discussed managerial decisions such as how much other band members were paid for certain shows, booking and scheduling, distribution, and the band's public image and branding, among other things. Despite this understanding and practice that the three primary band members be involved in such decision-making and entitled to equal shares in profits, at some point, Josta became more secretive with respect to decision-making and the band's finances. Prior to his termination, Beatty claims that he began to notice that there were substantial delays in receiving his share of merchandise sales following Hatebreed performances. When Betty did receive payments purporting to reflect his share of merchandise sales, those payments were substantially lower than what he anticipated under the merchandise agreement. Because of this, Beatty began requesting financial information about the band from Josta. Despite his repeated requests in 2023 and 2024, Betty never received any financial information confirming that the portion of the proceeds he received constituted 25% of the sales as promised. Beatty went on to say that the fallout from his termination has had a significant negative impact on his career, reputation, and health and well-being. He also accused Hatebreed of continuing to sell merchandise using Beatty's likeness in its online store. Hatebreed and Josta also continued to promote the band using Beatty's likeness. Goddamn. This past May, Chris opened up about his departure from Hatebreed, telling Drew Stone, obviously the last year was the 30th anniversary of the band, so we had big stuff going on for that, which was all completely amazing. We had a great year. Tours, shows were successful, and then we jumped to right now where I'm not in the band anymore. Chris went on to say his exit from Hatebreed was completely unexpected. Said someone saw an opportunity to get me out of the picture, and that's where I am now. Said regarding where he stood with Hatebreed right now, Chris said, we're trying to work it out. There's attorneys involved now. They're spending a lot of time having to deal with that and all the details, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't know who is right on this situation. Because I don't know the finer details. But that whole alleged agreement, it just sounds completely ridiculous to me. Even if he were in the right and Josta, like, did decide, oh, I'm going to fuck him over because I can, legally he was able to do that under this alleged agreement, but I don't know. What does the chat think after this very long fucking read? uBlock Origin is free, Wyatt. Please, I'll keep that in mind. uBlock is great. Works wonders on YouTube, too. That is good to know. All right, let me pull this up before I forget about it, because it do be annoying. Wait, fucking come on. Yeah, I have no idea who is in the right and who is not. What is up with the ads on these articles? This is how the internet works. None of these sites, Blabbermouth, Loudwire, Metal Injection, if you took out their advertising revenue, they would be gone instantly. Nobody reads that shit anymore. They're entirely propped up by their ads. That's why they pop up all over the place. And then the money they get from like management record labels to prop up their own bands. This is going to be a whole other video I'm going to go into at some point, but I think we need a guest spot by Legal Mindset at some point. 1000% Legal Mindset is an awesome dude. I would actually love to talk to him about a few of these things. About this one, about the Cradle of Filth one, about the Metal Days situation too. A lot of them. But yeah, the Court of Metal is ongoing. Implied agreement images, everyone scoff. He says, I don't believe that my cut was 25%. Prove it to me is really all he can say. Wait, I don't believe that my cut was 25%. Prove it to me is really all he can say. But what does Corey Taylor think? Don't know. Hold up. Sorry. Dying really quick. Sounds like Josta was making all the decisions anyways while Chris took a back seat. You got to advocate for yourself in business even if you're all buds. That is entirely possible. Maybe Josta either felt like or was doing most of the work and Chris was kind of coasting and then fell behind. Maybe Josta did just decide, nah, I'm going to fuck him over for fun. Like, I don't know, but I never got that vibe from Josta. He's always been very down to earth, it seems. Wyatt, please elaborate on how labels pay these journalists. Labels will pay these outlets to promote their bands. If a band has a new album coming out, they will pay them to talk about them and talk about them well. Because if, like, say, Metal Injection gets a lot of money from Century Media, that means when Century Media has a band coming out with an album, they're going to be a lot more inclined to give that album a good review, even if it's not that good. I may have heard a story about how Metal Injection one time gave a Trivium album a very mid-subpar review, and due to fear of backlash from them and their record label, they rewrote it to be a positive review. I've been told that from multiple people. Is it like how game publishers buy reviews now? Yeah, basically. It's not every single, like, review person out there, of course, but I mean, the main outlets, like Blabbermouth, Metal Injection, Metal Sucks, they're not giving you actual opinions. Not at all. I got a perfect example of that, actually. That's a good segue into another topic. The Hatebreed situation, I am agnostic. I'm not sure which one's right. Well, Wyatt sued Dark Insanity. Why not? It's what all fun people do nowadays. But yeah, I know for sure that sites like Metal Injection, Metal Sucks, Loudwire, all of them, Lamb Goat, have been bleeding numbers for years. They're all struggling, probably because they all write dog shit and don't give real reviews. Not all of them. Like, sometimes someone will be a little more honest, but obviously if your job is being propped up largely by a certain label and that label has a band coming out, you're going to be a lot more inclined and pressured to give them a very good review. But I pulled this one up because this was fucking hysterical. Do you guys remember a couple weeks ago on Metal Injection, there was an article about slandering, what's his name? Johnny Hawkins from Nothing More, because Nothing More did a music video where they clearly used AI and they defended using it. And Metal Injection wrote a long hit piece about how the singer was so stupid and that AI is wrong and horrible. And they said in that article, the human who wrote for Metal Injection wrote, I guess I'll just go create AI versions of Nothing More albums and sell them since the singer doesn't see anything wrong with it. So that would lead you to think that Metal Injection would never use AI for their website. Ever. It sounds like something they would be very against. Doesn't it? Well, let me pull this one thing up first. Hang on. Pause for dramatic effect. It's fucking. I laughed my ass off the other day when I found this. So, and not share this page right now. The other day, I was scrolling around Twitter, getting angry at retards, as you do. It's pretty much the only reason why Twitter exists nowadays. And this popped up, and I had to screenshot it because it was so funny. Metal Injection did a promotion of Peeling Flesh, a slam band who has a new album coming out or just came out, and they did a little article for promotion. Now, this is how they advertise it. On Twitter, Metal Injection's post was, Peeling Flesh is an accurate name for a brutal death metal band. No, cause their newest release, PF Radio 2, will indeed melt the skin off your face. So, bring a welder's helmet. You can just, reading that, it comes off in C-3PO's voice. There is no fucking way that a human wrote that. I am so fucking positive. Does that not read like the most AI shit you've ever seen? First of all, they're not a brutal death metal band. They're a slam band. This is like if I was paid to write a post promoting, I don't know, Barbie, the newest Barbie doll, and I didn't know fucking shit about it. And I would make a post that would be like, Barbie is a great name for a girl's toy. No, because it's what you're looking for. It comes off like that, does it not? Does it not? AI writing is lazy. I tested AI for a year plus, and that is so AI the weird words chosen, exactly. I don't know, man. Bloggers are very dumb. It could be a person. It could be. But I wanted to pull up, so that was how they advertised it. When I looked at the actual article, the press release is what it actually is. Typical title and part right here. Nothing really stands out, but the actual description. Peeling Flesh are considered an American death metal band, sitting quite snugly in the slam death metal or brutal death metal subgenre. So, the kind of shit that peels the skin off of your face. Thank you, robot. Who, when writing about a band, would put they're considered an American death metal band? Are they an American death metal band or not? I've never gone. Carcass is considered a British grind band. No, they are. Septic Flesh is considered a Greek death metal band. No, they're not. They are. What the fuck do you mean considered an American death metal band? And they're actually not. They are considered an American slam band. Peels the skin off of your face. Skibbity Skynet. Fucking Skynet. I am here to steal American jobs. I am Robot. Even dumb people write better than that, though. Ask any English teacher. I mean, it's getting to the point, but yeah. So I was thinking, what if it actually is a real writer and I'm making fun of it? Going, this AI is so insanely bad, and someone's like, I thought that was really clever. I thought it was a good job. Yeah, so metal injections can be real high and mighty and against artists defending using AI in a music video, something that's not necessary and is just in the background. The AI, I mean, in the video. But metal injection has no problem with using AI to make their shitty, no context articles. Here we go. The band have a slew of EP releases since 2021. 10 to be exact, including their newest release, and released their debut record last year. While 2 of those EPs were considered split releases, Peeling Flesh has been grinding pretty hard over the last 4 years, and this year is no exception. Also, I would like to add that I know the person who actually wrote the PR publication for this, what was actually supposed to be here, and it's not this. The person who wrote it sent me a screenshot of this article and went, dude, what the fuck is this? Yeah, so Metal Injection has no problem using AI to write their articles too, that are only looked at by their advertisers. So, Metal Injection uses AI to write slop articles that barely say anything at all, that people don't read except for me to make fun of on my live stream, and they're propped up by money from record labels and the ad money, the AdSense. It's no different than normal media. It's really fucking not. But if a band uses AI to make a pirate ship in their music video for 30 seconds, oh, Metal Injection has to go off on how horrible that was. But they can have AI staff, and that's fine. That'd be sad, but they need a job they're better at, exactly. If you can be replaced by AI, you don't deserve your job. Straight up. You're not creative enough. Do better. I really think that, like, if you're a good artist with skill and creativity, AI cannot replace you because you have a certain uniqueness to it where people can tell from looking at your art that it's yours. AI can't replace that. If you're a hack, AI can easily do that. So, like, I can tell AI to write a humorous YouTube video about metal. It will not have my jokes. It will not have my style in it. AI can never sell crack. It's never gonna replace people, okay? Don't worry about the important things. That's a job that will never be outsourced to AI or India. That if you're looking for a good future selling crack, this is American as fuck. The instrumentation of Slam is great, but the vocals make me feel like I want to die. I am not a fan of Slam. I don't like hate it straight up, but yeah, it's not for me. It's not, it doesn't excite me. There's worse bands though, and Peeling Flesh seem like cool dudes. Like from what I've seen of them in interviews, they seem like cool people. AI can never give us GTA 6 before it's supposed to come out. Okay, why are all news magazines, even in the metal scene, so woke and retarded? Are all of them communists or something? Yes, literally. You answered your own fucking question. Well, a lot of the metal ones are actually owned by the same people. Not to the mass scale that like actual mainstream media is, but the people who own Metal Injection own Metal Sucks. So it's the same people. Metal Sucks blatantly is people who consider themselves activists and not musicians or journalists. It's entirely people who got into journalism to spread their activism, not to actually be a journalist. And then in metal, like goth, like industrial, like punk, they're very easy subcultures to Trojan horse. And that's how they got their way in there. Yeah. I was distracted by Rocket looking so cute. Look at him. He's just smiling happily while I'm shit talking everything. Okay, then come to Eastern Europe. You will love it. Maybe. Closest I've been is parts of Slovenia, and I do love that a lot. Peeling Flesh are fun to see live. I might not see just them, but if they're at a festival, they're worth a watch. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. There's lots of bands like that. That's like Guitarist for me. I'm not about to sit around at home listening to Guitarist, but if I'm at a festival they're playing, I'm definitely going to watch that show. People are probably going to start using AI to write books. They already have been. They definitely already have been. On Amazon, you can throw up an AI book immediately. Ooh, Internal Bleeding is peak slam. Don't really care otherwise. Internal Bleeding is rad. We played with them one time. They're sick as fuck. Yeah. Shout out to Internal Bleeding. They're a really good band. Right on point. AI will phase out hacks and people who refuse to improve. Yeah, I mean, there will be some who weren't expecting such ingenuity, of course, and you know that sucks. But I think a lot of people who are just so like radically against AI at all, oftentimes are younger people who gives a fuck what they think. They don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. The same thing happened when it went from CDs to MP3 to every blah 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 blah. There's an AI actress now that talent agencies are interested in. The world got dumb. You know who did not get dumb? The woman who made that AI. She's fucking brilliant because she has to do no work at all. And now she's going to get talent agent money. Everyone else is stupid as fuck, but she is smart. Is there going to be a future where human-made stuff is in demand? Yeah. I think that will definitely be a market that develops. If you want like films that were entirely made by the old school method and everything, there will be like a market for that. And then there will be a mix of ones that utilize both. Can't wait for GTA 6 to be released, then to immediately be met with the 7 trumpets. It's really good. As soon as you buy the game, like I finally got it, like you just see bright light come down. That's hilarious. Party Cannon killed it this year in Tolman. They had a secret show at the DIY stage in pissing rain. They just set up a massive tarp over the band and people just moshed outside of it in floaties. I saw that. That was cool as fuck. So at Tolminator, one of their stages is DIY and it's just on the floor with a half pipe behind them. It's awesome as shit. And during this performance, it was raining and I saw video of people holding up ladders with a tarp and people under it like moshing and headbanging. It's the coolest shit ever. I want to go back to Tolminator. I hope it happens. But has AI ever been in a Turkish prison? Has AI ever seen a grown man naked? Does AI like films about gladiators? That's still one of the funniest movies ever, too. Let's get to another subject before I forget. Fuck. We had, what was the, oh, we got updates. Although we should actually get to the things that this live stream is titled now. Let's do the Gooner Guitarist first. Are we all going to come together and laugh at the Gooner Guitarist? I think we are. It's funny, I've been joking for a while that, or not joking, saying that we should do a video following up on all these like scammers and con artists that I've covered before to see how things are going with them now. Well, one of them decided to pop up. Hang on, shit, I'm dying. All right. The band Gel, hardcore band, since we were talking about hardcore a minute ago. If you guys don't remember, they were quickly on the rise and then very suddenly broke up with one of the most insane reasons anyone had ever heard. If you don't remember, the band broke up because the guitarist here was caught sending nudes of the other band members online in Reddit forums. He was stealing their money. He spent their money on an ungodly amount of OnlyFans subscriptions and porn. That's what they said. I feel like there's worse things that I'm honestly forgetting. This will probably recap it. But the dude that spent the band's money on porn, yep, he's back. He has made a return. So, New Jersey punk band's ex-guitarist responds to heinous accusations, blasts former bandmates. New Jersey hardcore band Gel came to abrupt end in March. Anthony Gooner has published a lengthy response. Now, do you think that he provided evidence to why these claims against him are false? Do you think he took a mature route? Do you think that he at least tried to gaslight people into thinking he was nice? Well, if you think any of that, you're fucking wrong. He did exactly what I think probably no one should ever do. If you want to read the most I'm 100% guilty statement I've ever fucking read. Out of nowhere, by the way, because Gel's Instagram page was taken down once this happened. And then out of nowhere, all of a sudden, the page is back up, and he posted these on the stories. I wrote all the music. He starts off with. He doesn't start off with, these statements are false, or I realize I made some mistakes. He starts with, in all caps, I wrote all the music. No need to hope they start a project without me, because they are incapable of playing or writing their own material. Very great proof of innocence here. No money was stolen. Any money we made went straight back into tour expenses. OnlyFans is tour expenses. Gear that I helped pick out for every band member. What the fuck does that mean? That sounds like you decided what they got. Merch, vinyl, etc. Remember, the rest of the band had no experience prior and was relying on me to make their dream come true, which I was obviously willing to do because I'm such a good person. Any extra money we made back, which was barely anything, they insisted I held on to. As I was the one who got the van, I was the one who got our gear, I was the one who wrote every single riff, lyric, and drum part. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't believe that. Did someone in the band ask me to help them take nudes for them? Yep. Did they feel some sort of regret with trusting me and grow suspicious that I went around sharing them online because of their anxiety coming to that conclusion? Yep. Did you share those pictures online? Probably. When I decided it was time, oh my God, fuck this dude. When I decided it was time to put a stop to the band, they chose to take it personally in an ill manner. Maybe because they weren't going to have me spoon feed them music to perform anymore. Did we leave off on a not so positive note during this process? Yep. So you're telling everyone, Anthony Gooner, that you decided to put an end to the band right on the heels of the biggest tour you were ever going to take part of. You just decided, nah. which then leads up to their statement about me, which I without a doubt know Bobco and Miller had absolutely no involvement with. Thank you for listening. Believe it or not, I honestly don't give a fuck at this point. So I don't believe him. I was basically like, yeah, fuck you guys. It was my band. I could do whatever I want. Fuck you. I did everything. Everyone sucks. I'm not a gooner. So they were like, this guy was abusive, controlling, sent nudes of us online and all that shit. And the guy's like, I wrote all the music. OnlyFans is touring expenses. Sounds like a non-pedo but major gooner version of Ian Watkins. Yeah. Sounds like someone who will rub everything they've ever perceivably done for you right in your face. If you're like, hey, how come you're not paying me the money that you owe me? Well, I gave you the band, so you should be grateful. This guy definitely hits his girlfriends. I would bet money on it. Lengthy response, unlike his career. Dude sounds like a heroin freak. Dude sounds like he's probably playing in As I Lay Dying now. What if he pops up as one of the touring members for As I Lay Dying? I will laugh so fucking hard. It's going to be him and the guy from Sadist and all the other abusers. Yeah. You're saying he gets girlfriend. You're right. You got me. I have been corrected. My mistake. Yeah, dude sounds like a fucking loser and someone who sounds guilty as fuck. Writing in all caps is a great sign of you did nothing wrong and you're totally stable and level-headed. He sounds like someone who doesn't put shopping carts back. He not only leaves the carts wherever, he pisses in them. He sounds like someone whose mother didn't take enough Tylenol, if you ask me. You know, there's a minimum amount required. As someone who lives in San Diego, As I Lay Dying is a cancer to the reputation of this community in San Diego. Damn, there you go. Kind of a cancer of life if you really want to think about it. That was the first update. Let's get another update on someone who sounds somehow less crazy. Los Angeles court rules on Weezer bassist wife police shooting. In another story we covered a couple months ago, this woman whose name I don't think anyone remembers, Weezer wife is what she's officially called. What was the story? The story was that LAPD were chasing some people who I think had stolen a car. Those guys had ran into her yard or near her backyard. The police were going through the yards looking for them. The police were in the yard next to hers. She sees them. She comes out with a gun and starts yelling at them. And they start yelling at her. And she fires a shot at them and they shoot at her. No one hits anyone because it's LAPD. No, they weren't trying, of course. But we were all wondering what the fuck is going to happen. And now we know. A Los Angeles court has entered their ruling over the police shooting of author Jillian Lauren Schreiner, the wife of Weezer bassist Scott Schreiner. Per the Los Angeles Times, the author, who goes under the pen name Jillian Lauren, will not be facing jail time over the incident that took place back in April of this year. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. If you live in California, you can shoot at the police and nothing will happen to you. It'll be totally fine. That is not legal advice. Don't fucking be an idiot. As a refresher to the bizarre incident, police were in pursuit of a hit-and-run driver when the chase moved... No, a hit-and-run driver? I thought they were chasing 3 people who'd stolen shit. When the chase moved onto... when the chase moved on foot into Schreiner's neighborhood. One of the suspects had tried to enter Schreiner's property. When police arrived in pursuit and attempted to enter the home, they were met by the author who allegedly, I saw her do it. Why do we say allegedly when there's video evidence of people doing it? Who allegedly had fired her gun at the suspect and then pointed it at the police officers while refusing to lower her gun upon request. The author was then shot in the shoulder by police. I forgot about that part. Taken into custody and booked for attempted murder. A whole basket case of dumbass fuckery. Los Angeles Superior Court oversaw the proceedings and granted the author a mental health diversion. Because it's California, you can get out of literally anything if you claim mental health. This would keep the author from serving jail time should she comply with the details of the ruling. As part of the decision, Schreiner must not own any firearms. I think that's fair, to be honest. And should avoid drugs and alcohol. What do you mean should? Does she have to avoid them or not? While also attending therapy sessions. If she is able to stay true to the conditions of she should over the 2-year probation, then the charges against her will be dropped. If you could just not fucking act crazy for 2 years, I know you live in Los Angeles, try. Following the April 8th incident, police released body cam footage in it, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so why the fuck did they give her a mental health one? Okay. Because it's California. She could have shot all of the cops. They would have let her off with because it's California. She got supervised probation, basically. Yep. You have to say allegedly or you'll get canceled, the woke society. I understand that when something hasn't been proven yet, but when there's video fucking evidence of it, I'm like, what do you mean allegedly? That'd be like, the Twin Towers allegedly exploded on 9/11. Like, what do you mean? I can see it with my eyeballs. The world is stupid and I don't like it. I saw Weezer at a festival on Sunday. They were fine. She wasn't there. Yeah, her husband played Coachella like the next weekend after it happened. Like, maybe it wasn't super unusual or unexpected for him. He's just like, it's about fucking time. She got that because her husband is rich. Yeah, probably. I mean, to be fair, yeah, because some people have said that it's like white woman privilege or woke white lady privilege or rich privilege. And I'm like, it's California. She could have been a homeless person and ate the police and they would have paid him. Like, you know, that's what happens here. I said on a murder trial once, there was video. Trial still took 3 weeks for the state to prove the case beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yeah, they were found guilty. That's what I'm saying. This shit's so stupid. I was on a jury, like, I had jury duty one time where I had to go and show up and they were going to decide if I had to join the jury duty or not. And when I walked in there, the defendants were these two, either teenage or early 20s guys with tattoos on their face. And they were like, they're suspected of murder. And I was like, if you put me on here, they're guilty immediately. But I actually got out of that jury duty. That was the day that I rescued Rocket. That was crazy. I went to get an oil change and then was going to go straight to the court thing. And as I was getting the oil change, Rocket ran into my life. Yeah. Well, if we're allowed to keep developing AI, video footage becomes even less useful than eyewitness stories. That is true, and that is something I really don't like about living in the future. AI has some hilarious uses and some interesting uses and some really horrible uses. My version of that really I thought was kind of sickening to me was I'm not jumping into this discussion heavily. Don't worry. I said before, when the October 7th, when Israel-Palestine really kicked off to the level that it is now, I saw AI videos from both sides spreading propaganda, and I was like, this is warfare on a whole disgusting level. That propaganda was always one thing, but AI videos is ugh. And that's all I will say about that situation. What was the other thing we were going to mention? Azalea dying is back. But I don't think it's the very last thing we're going to talk about. No, there's a little bit more. But in terms of awful people making a comeback, Azalea dying posted on their Instagram the other day this little thingy, this little doodad, celebrating the 20th anniversary of Shadows Our Security. That name takes on a whole new meaning after you know everything about Tim, doesn't it? Shadows certainly were your security, weren't they, Tiny Tim? An evening with Azalea dying. That sounds violent. Join us for a special tour featuring performances from Shadows Our Security, along with fan favorites from across the band's career. I will attend if you can perform the fan favorite of when you were punching yourself in the head. Do the one where you ran into your refrigerator. That was my favorite. It's like, all right, what do you guys want to see next? And you put up a table and a dog. Yeah. I'm all about, I support separating the art from the artist and everything, but come on. As I turn off the comment section, I don't think any of their posts have any comments anymore. How can you expect a tour to do well if you're not even allowing fucking comments on the video? And it's just the Russia, Eastern Europe dates mostly. Yeah, Russia, Slovenia, other places. If you go to see Azalea dying live nowadays, I don't understand it. I'm not about cancel culture, but I'm about morals, so I don't understand that at all. If you decide to play an Azalea dying, you're a fucking retard, but enjoy your Stockholm Syndrome, I guess. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah, who's excited for As I Keep Lying? Who's excited for As I Keep Gaslighting? Who's excited for As I Keep Abusing? Which one of you legends said he was the Henry VIII of metal? I don't know who said that, but that was one of the funniest fucking comments I'd ever read. That was great. It's in, if you watch my video on funniest comments of, I think, last year, it's on there for sure. Very astute, Wyatt. Some would say the reality shows us whatever we want to believe. Yeah. Yeah. I think Tim probably meant that Shadows Our Security is like, oh, the world's hard, but I feel safe in my dark place. What it actually means is he's securing his career by abusing people and gaslighting them and being a fucking dick and covering it up and writing a fake statement and forcing his wife to post it on her Instagram. That's what Shadows Our Security means. Shadows Our Security the way Palpatine means it. An evening with, because no bands want to do anything with Tiny Tim and his roid rage. I didn't even think about that. That might be accurate. I did not even think. That might be why they're doing an evening with, because no one wants to fucking tour with him. Right, and get underpaid and get threatened with NDAs. I was telling my friend this the other day who works in the industry. If anyone in the industry ever tried to come in with an NDA, I would immediately live stream it. Absolutely not. I think it was for, what was the situation? We're talking about someone in the industry who's a fucking dick who threatens people with lawsuits. And I was like, if they threatened me with a lawsuit, I would literally post it online immediately. Rocket looks so cute. He's getting fat. I found out recently I've been overfeeding him and I felt bad. He was a growing little starving baby. He deserved a belly of a king. As I joined the dark side. As I lay crying. Tim and people like him are the reason so many people shy away from Jesus. He's definitely not a great representation. I will say that. As I lay crying. Dark Mare, what is up, dude? We're talking about all the silliness of the world. Tim put in a lot of effort to play Russia. Didn't. If Putin says Tim to the front lines, I think all would be okay with that. I think that's part of a mutual negotiation. I'm not a supporter of that, but I think we could make a leeway in this situation. As I crash the fuck out. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. We can see his belly, but it's nothing but a laser pointer and cat fix. I've been trying to do that. I've been trying to like exercise him and play with him more. I feel bad if I just sit here and I'm often working on videos and then he is restless. I sometimes thinking about getting him another cat, but I don't know if he'd like it or not. Who's even in the band? Is it Tim and a laptop? He would have less to worry about if that was the situation. Another topic actually to get into was talking about bands announcing shit. Slipknot have made an announcement. Slipknot will be releasing The End So Far. I honestly can't tell if this is a new album or is this like a highlight of shit they've done before. Are these new songs? Oh, wait. I'm looking at a complete... What the fuck is... Why was this posted 22 hours ago? But what? I'm confused. Or well, then fuck off. Stupid corporate band. I don't know what happened. That was really weird because I literally saw that posted as I was scrolling and I was like, oh, they have a new thing. And then apparently not. Fine journalism, folks. What is this? Metal injection? Well, shit. That was damn near everything that I wanted to cover. One thing that we can actually go over. Let's react to a video before we get the fuck on out of here, unless there's any new breaking news. For all of the fans in the chat of Disney, and I know there's just so many of you. Disney and Hulu just did a metal documentary. Yeah, another one. I haven't watched it yet, but it's definitely not as good as mine that you can go watch on the channel right now. But let's see. Can I pull up the trailer for it? See if we get copyright striked in the last minute and a half of the stream. Here's a trailer for it. I didn't watch it before. Wait. It. Phil and Samo, take it away.
Pure heavy metal. It's not for the faint-hearted. First time that I
Nowadays it is.
heard in metal music, it was very cathartic. Pantera, Plasmatics, Black Sabbath.
This
Plasmatics never gets mentioned.
music, it was something special.
I want to be part of this.
But you don't know how ugly this business can be. Thanks.
Oh, the irony.
Got really, really crazy.
Heavy metal was under attack.
Good versus evil.
Hidden messages.
Satanic.
Panic.
We gotta defend
Plasmatics.
Oh, hey, fuck, what'd I do?
This music, it was something special.
Heavy metal was under attack.
Good versus evil.
hidden messages.
Satanic.
Panic.
We gotta defend our children.
The lawsuit charged Judas Priest with inspiring suicide.
This could change history. Freedom of speech, man.
Kurt had killed her with a hatchet.
I was like, what? Just no way.
What the fuck are you talking? What?
Deadly shooting.
Then he called and said, I just saw my brother get shot.
Damn.
Dimebag got murdered. It's crushing.
Randy Rhoads, lead guitarist for Ozzy Osbourne's band, has been killed in a fiery plane crash.
Randy was a gift from God. He
Man, this documentary sounds depressing as fuck.
pulled the best out of Ozzy.
He was the first guy that came into my life and gave me hope.
Art could be dangerous. It was break all the rules. Let's get as extreme as we can get. There's beauty in the journey.
And now it's about breakdowns while being soft and lame, making sure nobody's offended.
Chuck's brain tumor. Battle wasn't over, but the music meant the world to him.
His personality, that's what comes through.
You can always resonate with going from tragedy to triumph.
Music is something that doesn't die. After we've gone, it will live on.
Into the Void is Hulu's documentary. I thought Hulu was done. I thought that shut down. So if you still have a Disney Pass or you just know how to torrent and stream things, consider checking out that one. Wow, Phil's voice sounds as bad as ever. It did right then, didn't it? Sounds good when he's doing death metal. But yeah. Already know all these stories. Don't think I'll be watching this. Depressing is right. Yeah, I mean, you do reach a point where it's kind of like, okay, I've heard all this. Like, I like that they put plasmatics in there because they're usually not mentioned. I'm so glad this chat isn't all about sanitizing Sharon's reputation just out of sympathy. Whenever someone says, what a sweet lady, I get so triggered. I showed the utmost, like, respect and sympathy to her and her family with Ozzy passing, of course, but that doesn't negate her career and how she's acted to other people before. You know? There's a difference. There's only so much plasmatics footage, though. If you're a fan, you've seen it all. Isn't Netflix doing an Aussie documentary? I think that was that BBC? Someone is doing one that's coming out really soon. Mr. Darkmare says, I'm going to watch that. However, I reached 100 videos and 10,000 views on my channel. Hey, congrats, man. That's awesome. Shout out to you. Keep up the work. She didn't deserve to lose her husband, but people will never forget how much of a problem she is. Yeah. I think that's completely fair. It's Paramount. All right, it's Paramount. Whoa. Oh. This caught Ellie not so smelly, though. No, Phil, don't pull an Elon. What were we reviewing? Watching something? Oh, it was the Back to the Beginning concert when Pantera was playing. After the song, Phil goes, I know everyone wants me to say something, and I was legit like, Phil, don't do it. I was like, oh, okay. Huh. Let's watch that trailer for that Aussie documentary, and then I'm going to get the fuck out of here. If you haven't watched my wrestling video, you should go check it out on the concert we played this last weekend. It was awesome. Very violent. I'm surprised YouTube didn't copyright it, honestly. Or not age restrict it. My next video, which will be up not tomorrow, but the next day. But it'll be up tomorrow for people on my Patreon if you want to see my videos early, and not age restricted. This one probably will be too. I'm doing the 10 weirdest on stage moments. There's some special ones on there. Not specifically meltdowns, people freaking out or angry. I mean weird. Things in life that are just weird. But anyway. And then if you're in the LA area, my band Dark Insanity is playing this Friday at Supply and Demand in Long Beach, California. Let's see this trailer for the new Sharon and Ozzy Coming Home trailer by the BBC. I think multiple places are probably doing Ozzy documentaries now.
Sharon, stop it. Stop. Stick out of it. Don't drive.
Based.
I'm so looking forward to an English summer.
Yeah.
Was always referred to this as home.
It looks magnificent stuff.
You can't be him without people staring. He's Ozzy Osbourne.
I always told Ozzy, when you're 70, we say goodbye.
I can't wait till I'm there.
He's the strongest person I've ever met, physically and mentally.
We're quite normal. We're quite boring, really, when it comes down to it.
I wouldn't say we're fucking normal. Kill! I made some marijuana cake. Or to the they could come around and eat some of the cake.
Do you want a quiet life now?
No. Yes, but no.
I don't think it's possible for either one of them to retire ever.
Post Osbournes, we all kind of just like scattered, and 20 years later, it's like we're back together again.
I feel like I'm finally home. This is my home.
What are you most looking forward to?
Doing absolutely nothing.
He is very romantic. He still leaves me little notes. So I'll open a drawer and there's a little note from him. Loves you.
Love you more.
Damn. Who the fuck is chopping onions? Stop it. Trying to have a nice, fun live stream here. Now everyone's being all emotional and shit. That sucks. I mean, it was bittersweet. It's bittersweet to see Ozzy stuff, but very nice too. Slogoff says, average note, Sharon, nice butt.
Fool this man!
Anyway, someone asked, what was it? Where? Am I the only one who thinks it's weird that Ozzy hasn't even been dead a year and there's already stuff coming out about him? No, it's not weird because a lot of them are already being worked on. At least one of those, I think the BBC one, was already being worked on before he died. So it needs to be edited, obviously, but not super weird. We're in Long Beach this weekend. Does Alex Barr do metal shows? I think they sometimes do. They mostly do punk shows, which is why we haven't played there yet. Nothing against them at all. I'd love to. But Supply and Demand, which is, I think, like not far from Alex's bar at all. It's a really good venue. It sucks that's going down, it seems. But come see us. Have a good time and kick some ass. Oh. Anyway. For the facelift find. Remember when they brought out Dio in hologram form for a tour? Pretty sure that shit bombed. Wouldn't be surprised if they did that with Ozzy. I remember them talking about that. Did they actually do it? I can't remember if they did. I saw Dio Disciples before where other people played Dio songs, and that was great, but I'm looking up Dio hologram. Oh shit, it did happen! What? What? When the fuck did that become? This was years ago. Did this happen? I just forgot about it? The fuck is this horse shit? What is this? Living funk. What the fuck? Ew. It looks like a PS2 version of Dio. The fuck is this horse shit? Get the fuck out of here. It's moving like an animatronic, not like a real person. I'm so glad this didn't catch on. Let Tupac and Dio be the only people who ever had the shit hologram version of him. I would rather have AI than have that shit. That's ugh. It will probably happen more now that we have AI. Cool idea, bad execution. Yeah. If we get to Star Trek levels of holographic projection, I'll be down. But for now, no. Dio Disciples at Vakken 2024 was a shit show. Damn, really? I saw them at Vakken 2012 and I thought they were great. But I don't know what happened. Anyway, yeah. That's the world we live in, folks. With that said, I think that is going to be about it for this live stream. This is a good, fun episode. Fun catching up with some of the series regulars. Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Come to the show on Friday, Supply and Demand in Long Beach if you are around. If you're not around, then watch my videos. Watch my wrestling one. I'll have a new one up in 2 days. Sign up for my Patreon. I did put up a new modding video up on my game channel on WM Games. I put up a video on how to turn Red Dead Redemption 2 into Undead Nightmare 2. For those who don't know, I have a side gaming channel that I post very infrequently on, but I like doing those videos. But with all that said, have a good week. Let's do the concert outro. You guys get the mini movie. So if you come see Dark Insanity either this Friday at Supply and Demand or in 15 days at the Whiskey A Go-Go when we are opening for Carnivore AD, come out to that show. It's going to be sweet. It's going to be something like this. See you all later.
Thighs and belly.
Like I care.